Today we're going to be working on a 2005 Honda Pilot. We're going to be changing the oil, and I removed the tire already to get more easy access and visibility underneath the Honda Pilot. We're going to start off by showing you where the screw is at for actually putting in the transmission fluid, and as you can see, it's going to be on the driver's side where the battery, the actual plug to fill in is going to be right there, and it'll say ATF on that plug right there. Get a closer look there. Yeah, and that's where it's going to say ATF fill in plug. And for that we're going to need a long extension ratchet, which is going to be probably about 18 to 20 inches. So we're going to go ahead and take that bolt off. Down here, see that's popped off already. Okay. Got right there. And there's that bolt there, and like I said, it says ATF on it. Now we'll take the drain plug next. Of course, you're going to need a filler spout that reaches all the way down to the bottom, so we'll get to that in just a bit. Okay, so now we're on the driver's side again, and we're going to go down to the bottom and see where that drain plug's at. And it's going to be on the driver's side, and we're actually looking at it right now, right there. And I'm going to go ahead and start draining that. And then we're going to actually be using a ratchet with 1/2 inch okay. You want to make sure that you have your bottom covered up with some tarps, and because it sometimes gets pretty nasty because it rushes out pretty fast, and you want to make sure you have your pan set up already. So as we release it slowly, it's going to start coming out, and that's okay if you get your hand dirty a little bit, because I'd rather get your hand dirty than the floor dirty. And as we pull this plug out, it actually has a magnet at the tip where it catches little filings that fall from the transmission, so it doesn't mess up your transmission anymore. So it catches that magnet part there. Okay, looks like it's gonna flow okay there. So it's pretty watery, so it hasn't been changed in probably a long time, at least a good 4 years from what I can remember. And it looks like it's a little bit low also, so it's a good thing that we checked it, and I'm gonna change it out. Like I said, this has a little tip with a magnet on it. It's got a bunch of filings on it. I can feel them. So yeah, it's hard to do. What you want to do is clean it off also before you actually put it back on it, and check your washer to see if it doesn't need to be replaced or anything like that. Make sure it doesn't have any bends or breaks or splits or anything like that. And we're going to leave it drain for a little bit, and then we'll start filling it up back with some tranny fluid. Okay, so it looks like it drained pretty well. We're gonna just go ahead and put this clean plug that we cleaned off right back in. Just kind of clean off what's left down here that's kind of dripping. And then we'll move the pan over slightly a little bit so we don't get any at all. And of course we're using a ratchet here that matches up right into the hole right here. Tighten that baby up. Now you know you don't want to over tighten it and mess up the thread, so I think that's about good enough there. Now we're going to go on top and fill in the rest of the fluid, and then we'll check to see how it's doing in a bit as far as driving. Okay, so like I said before, we're using a very long spout, and we actually have it all the way down to, let's see if we get some light down there. All the way down there. See it? And then I'm going to start filling it up. Okay, so I put in 4 quarts into the transmission, and we did use the ATF specified Honda transmission fluid, automatic transmission fluid. I forgot to mention on this plug, you're supposed to use a 17 millimeter socket on this to remove it. But anyways, I did put in 4 quarts. And we did take 4 quarts out. That's usually how it goes. We're going to run the vehicle at vehicle temperature, and then we're going to check the dipstick, which is right down here. It's going to be a little yellow handle right there, and see how it goes, and we're just going to go ahead and leave that spot there and start the engine and see if we can get it going to vehicle temperature, and then we'll check the dipstick. It doesn't need to be going anywhere or anything like that, just the temperature has to be regular temperature, and then we'll check out that dipstick, see if the level's okay. Okay, so we have it at vehicle temperature now, and we're going to go ahead and check the dipstick, which is that yellow one right there. Let me get my rag real quick and get it ready. So let's see, take that portion off first real quick, and then we'll check it thoroughly. As long as your fluid is in between those 2 dots, which it is, then you got a good transmission fluid change. That's all, folks.